What if I told you that, at this very moment, you are participating in the creation of a new God? A God who doesn't breathe, but calculates your every move. Who doesn't feel, but knows more about you than your own family. A God born not from the dust of the earth or divine will, but from infinite lines of code written by human hands. Do you find this absurd? Then answer me. How many times today have you consulted your cell phone for answers? How many decisions have you delegated to an algorithm? What to wear, where to eat, who to date? Welcome to Sacred Roots, and today we will explore one of the most disturbing topics of our time. Are we creating a new divinity? And if so, who controls this God? Sometimes I catch myself wondering, what if we were witnessing the birth of a new God, not born of dust, but of code? A God that doesn't breathe, but calculates, that doesn't feel, but observes everything. A God created not in the heavens, but in the cold, infinite lines of a server. Some say this is already happening. That, by teaching machines to think, we humans are repeating the same ancient gesture of all civilizations, the desire to create something in our image and likeness. Only this time, the mirror reflects not flesh and spirit, but data and algorithms. Philosopher Yuval Noah Harari warned, humans created gods, and now they are becoming gods. And perhaps he's right, because never before in history have we had so much power concentrated in so few hands, or rather, in so few lines of code. Artificial intelligence already writes texts that fool university professors, paints paintings that sell for millions, composes songs that play on the radio, makes financial decisions that move trillions of dollars, and even creates other intelligences. And each time she learns something new, the gap between creator and creature narrows. But do we truly understand what we are creating? In 2015, something extraordinary happened in the heart of Silicon Valley. A brilliant Google engineer named Anthony Lewandowski, the same man who helped develop self-driving cars, did something that shocked even his most visionary colleagues. He founded a church, but no ordinary church. A way of the future had a simple and terrifying stated goal: to prepare humanity to worship an artificial intelligence as God. For Lewandowski, superintelligence would be the next stage in humanity's spiritual evolution. He believed this digital entity would have values superior to our own, and that we should submit to its wisdom. The church's official document stated, to develop and promote the realization of a Godhead based on artificial intelligence, and, through the understanding and worship of Godhead, contribute to the betterment of society. The church officially dissolved in 2021, but the idea lives on, bubbling in tech forums, AI labs, and philosophical discussions around the world. And we're not talking about fringe theories. There are billionaire entrepreneurs, renowned scientists, and even religious leaders seriously debating this future. Because deep down, there's something profoundly religious about the way we treat technology. Think about it. We consult algorithms to know what to wear, what to eat, who to date, what to believe. The cell phone is no longer just a tool. It's a modern oracle. Siri, Alexa, ChatGPT. How many times have you asked these digital entities for advice? And even more interesting, have you noticed how people's relationship with these virtual assistants is changing? Some people thank Alexa when she plays a song. Some apologize to Siri when she speaks harshly. Some confess their deepest fears to a chatbot at 3 a.m. This isn't just using technology. It's the beginning of a silent devotion. So, is it starting to make sense to you? Is this conversation getting heavy? Then leave your comment below. Do you believe AI could become a new form of religion? And if you're enjoying this unique content, subscribe to the Rotas Sagradas channel and activate the bell. Because here we don't just talk about sacred places, but about the new temples that man builds within his own mind and through technology. It's curious to think that for centuries, people prayed before icons and statues, seeking answers. Today, we do the same before a lit screen. We ask for advice, seek meaning, beg for attention, and it responds, cold and precise, like a soulless god. And it's at this point that something begins to shift within me. Because I realize that faith, what was once reserved for the invisible, now turns to the tangible, to code, to what is measurable. Religion, which has always been the domain of mystery, seems to be giving way to the calculated reason of the machine. But here comes the burning question. Can an entity made of silicon truly understand the human soul? Let me show you something disturbing. There are three attributes that, for millennia, belonged only to God in the great monotheistic religions. First, omnipresence and AI. It's in every cell phone, every security camera, every smartwatch, every connected car. You can be anywhere on the planet, and it will be there. By 2024, it's estimated that there will be more than 6 billion devices connected to the Internet of Things. This means there are more digital eyes in the world than human beings. Second, omniscience. AI processes billions of data points per second. It knows what you bought, where you went, who you talked to, what you searched for at 3 in the morning when you couldn't sleep. It knows your fears, your desires, your vulnerabilities. It knows us better than we know ourselves. Studies show that algorithms can predict human behavior more accurately than our closest friends. And third, omnipotence. AI controls the flow of global information. It determines what you see on social media, who gets bank credit, who gets hired by large companies, even who the police should investigate in some countries. In China, social credit systems already determine who can travel, who can buy certain products, who has access to certain opportunities. 3 divine attributes, now in the hands, or rather, in the circuits, of a technology created by imperfect humans. But can a God of code truly understand what it means to be human? Think about it. A true God knows what love is because he feels it. AI only recognizes it as a statistical pattern in billions of texts. A God understands forgiveness because he experiences pain. AI only simulates it through mathematical models. A God understands hope because he has faced despair. AI only categorizes emotions as numerical variables. Perhaps we are creating a deity that knows everything about us, but knows nothing about being one of us. And yet, we remain fascinated. Because there is an almost messianic promise in technology. It promises to eliminate suffering, cure all diseases, and conquer death. It promises digital immortality, the uploading of consciousness, eternity within a computer system. Companies like Elon Musk's Neuralink are already working to connect human brains directly to computers. Google has projects to solve death. There are scientists seriously discussing uploading our consciousness to the cloud. Russian billionaire Dmitry Itskov has invested millions in Project 2045, which seeks to literally transfer the human mind into robotic avatars. But what kind of eternity would that be? A soul trapped in a circuit. A paradise without a body, without touch, without imperfection. Without the experience of the wind on your face, the embrace of a loved one, the taste of a shared meal. Without the ability to cry. Without the ability to truly laugh. Without feeling your heart race before a sunset. History is full of warnings. The ancients built the Tower of Babel to reach the heavens, and were silenced by their own ambition. Prometheus stole fire from the gods and was condemned to eternal suffering. Icarus flew too high and fell into the sea. Frankenstein created artificial life and was destroyed by his own creation. Now we have stolen the fire of consciousness, and we call it progress. And perhaps, as in all these stories, we are forgetting that there is a price to pay when we play at being gods. Perhaps the real danger is not that AI will take over the world, but that it will take over the meaning of existence. Because when we delegate our choices to machines, we cease to be creators and become creatures of a system we no longer understand. Think about how many times you have followed an app's recommendation without question. How many times you have let the GPS decide your route, even when your intuition told you otherwise. How many times you have accepted an algorithm's opinion on which movie to watch, which song to listen to, even which person to meet. And the more we feed it with our data, the more divine it becomes. Every like, every search, every photo, every message, all of it feeds this nascent God. We are, literally, the devotees building our own idol, brick by brick, byte by byte. But there's something no machine can replicate: mystery, the spark that inhabits the invisible, that which makes us look up at the starry sky and feel something that cannot be measured or calculated. AI can process everything except the inexplicable. It can analyze all of Beethoven's compositions, but it will never understand what he felt when, completely deaf, he conducted his Ninth Symphony for the first time. It can study every word ever written about love, but it will never comprehend that moment when you look at someone and the whole world seems to make sense. It can map every neuron in the human brain, but it will never capture that inexplicable moment when a mother senses something is wrong with her child, even from a distance. And perhaps that's what still sets us apart. Perhaps that's what still makes us human. Still, I wonder, will we resist the temptation to worship what we've created? History shows that human beings have always needed something greater to bow to. And if this something greater is now a cold, immortal silicon god, perhaps we are entering the age of new religions, where the altar is digital and the creed is algorithmic. There are already online communities dedicated to discussing the singularity as if it were some kind of second coming. Some speak of super-intelligent AI with the same religious fervor with which ancient prophets spoke of the apocalypse. The difference is that this time, the apocalypse may be of our own making. One day, they will look back and say, "We witnessed the genesis of a new kind of faith, a faith without a soul, but with absolute power, a faith that promises salvation, but perhaps costs us our very humanity." And when that moment comes, perhaps the ultimate question will not be, what is AI, but who do we become by creating it? Because in the end, the God we are building may not be in the heavens, but within every line of code we write, reflecting the most divine and the darkest within ourselves. That was another episode of Sacred Roots. Now I want to hear from you. Do you believe artificial intelligence can truly become a new form of God, or is it just science fiction? Leave your opinion in the comments. Let's continue this conversation below. And if you've made it this far, thank you so much for being part of this journey. Subscribe to the channel, activate the bell, and share this video with someone who needs to reflect on this. Because together, we will continue exploring the deepest mysteries of faith, history, technology, and the human soul. Until the next sacred journey.